Hey keto friends, tell me something. Do you miss bread? I can honestly say that after 10 years on a low-carb diet, I really don't miss it that much anymore, but I know a lot of you do, which is why today we are going to make the focaccia bread out of my first cookbook, The Everyday Ketogenic Kitchen. While I may not miss bread that much, I really do love this focaccia bread. It is perfect for dipping in olive oil, and it also makes great keto panini. And best of all, it's super easy to make too. So we are going to start with 1 cup of finely ground almond flour, and we're going to add 1/3 cup of coconut flour. I also add protein powder to help it rise properly. This is whey protein, but you can use egg white protein instead if you want it to be dairy-free. And we're going to add a whole tablespoon of baking powder to get it to rise properly. And then we're going to add 3/4 teaspoon salt and 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. And we'll just whisk these together until they're nicely combined. And I also have here 2 tablespoons of chopped fresh rosemary leaves. I think what makes focaccia so distinctive is the wonderful flavor of rosemary and salt. Then we can stir in our wet ingredients. I have here some really nice olive oil, and we're going to add 1/2 cup of that. And I've got 2 eggs. And here I've got 2 egg whites. I find that doing some egg white helps it be lighter and airier. So we're going to whisk all that together. So you can see that my dough is quite thick and a little hard to work with. So I'm going to add some water, and I have about 1/2 cup here. Depending on your coconut flour and how big your eggs are and your egg whites are, you may not need all of this water. So I'm going to start with a little and mix it in and see where we are. You want the dough to seem a little sticky before you try to shape it. I'm going to add a little more water, and that looks better to me. I'm going to be able to spread it a little more easily on the pan. So I've got a cookie sheet here, and I have put down some parchment paper. And now I'm actually going to grease the paper so the bread doesn't stick. So just a little olive oil and brush it all over. And now I can put my dough on top, and now comes the fun part. It's like playing with Play-Doh. First, you want to wet your hands, or you can even oil them with a little more olive oil. And then you're going to press your dough out to about 9 by 12 inches. And every time it gets a little too sticky, wet your hands again. Try to make it an even thickness as best you can so that it bakes evenly. And now take your wet hands again, and you're going to dimple it all over to make it look more like traditional focaccia bread. And finally, to make it just like the real deal, we are going to put some fresh rosemary leaves on top. And I won't lie, I just stole some out of my neighbor's yard, but they won't mind. And we're going to sprinkle it with some nice coarse sea salt. And you can see that my keto focaccia is ready for the oven. I have my oven on at 325, and I'm going to bake it for about 20 to 25 minutes. You want the edges to be nice and golden, and the top should be firm to the touch. There we have it, guys. I have some keto focaccia. I've taken it out of the oven and let it cool for a little while, and we are ready to go. I'm going to cut it into some pieces, and you can see the inside. Oh, it's still nice and warm. And you can see right here, it's nice and airy. It's perfect. It's going to be so good dipped in some olive oil. For this great keto recipe and so many more, grab a copy of The Everyday Ketogenic Kitchen or check out my blog, alldayidreamaboutfood.com.